Two Team Takedown is underway with the
Yeah, people already played some games.
with the controversial rulings.
Let people know if in the one thing in when your game is, maybe somebody can stream it.
Yes, we're hoping maybe to have a game tomorrow, depending on Mike and I think it's Kyle. I can't remember.
I think that sounds right.
And Nick has got fixed the analysis sheet, which is exciting. So we can see how few Beckys are actually in this, which was really surprising.
It doesn't surprise me. Everybody want to play with new toys.
I'm surprised actually we had more Colossus than we did anything else.
Colossus is huge.
What did
I didn't even think that was going to happen.
What did I say?
Hope is the number 1 win con.
Probably.
Yeah.
What I tell you, Kim?
Yeah,
actually, do we want to?
like,
you know what? We got time. Do you want to go over that right now?
I can help. Whatever you want to do.
Nick said he fixed it. So if Nick, hang on, I'm going to stop streaming because I'm going to stop streaming in Discord.
Okay.
Because you don't need to watch that. Nick, if you want to jump in, you can talk about because you did a lot of work to get this up and running. I'm pulling up the sheet right now here.
Part of why I popped in.
Part of why he popped in.
Sure.
Hoping that we talk about Two Team Takedown.
So we'll wait for Nick to jump in here. So Nick spent a bit of time cleaning up. We got like the data sheet to break down the teams, but it was a bit of a mess. So we had to kind of get it working with the sheet we had. So Nick actually imported it into our working sheet, and now we have a functional up till I think everything's in there now. So we can break down the teams. So I see a jackalope, a wild jackalope has arrived.
Ahoy.
As I say, and he's not talking to us.
What? Said ahoy.
Sorry, we got a chicken going, so
No,
hold up.
I missed it.
We're gonna hold off on the.
Sorry, had to do it. I mean, the chickens were flying around today, right?
Absolutely.
Moving bits around everywhere. What are you, chicken?
I think chickens need a revamp. I think we need to do something new with them.
Man, the thing.
More
the
background
worst thing-
singers, background dancers.
The worst thing about that game is, for some reason, it just did not provide the lines like with the Ghostbuster game when you had it. I could rattle them off like no one's business, but this one.
Oh yeah, it didn't have. It just had like where things were. They wouldn't have the quotes.
I wanted to start doing quotes, and I just
Yeah.
didn't find it.
Yeah.
That's kind of disappointing. Like, if you've got a movie like that, a very classic movie, and you're not taking part in that, it's
Well,
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I will say that back
Go
to
talk to them, Nick. You go tell them.
So tell
Is one of
I
Ravensburger
will
how to.
next time I'm in Germany.
Maybe they didn't have rights to do that.
I like the Ghostbuster one. It just presented opportunities in gameplay for you to start saying things, like. But this one, I don't know. Just maybe it's not as quotable of a movie. Now that I think about it.
Me.
Oh,
What are the really famous ones? I don't know.
I don't know. I kept
Whoa.
shouting the 1.21 gigawatts.
That's it.
That's my favorite line. I don't know why.
88 miles per hour.
Yeah. But then that leads right into the 1.21 gigawatts.
I can't even remember what Doc would always say. Right.
And I love that you can actually
Great
Google
Scott!
gigawatts.
Hey, listen. I'll take any jiggles I can get right now. So, what's the breakdown you got, Nick?
Oh, who's sharing it?
I just assumed everyone was going to jump in on their own. I don't have anything on the
Oh,
screen.
I mean, you could go ahead and share it.
Oh, you want me to share it? Oh my.
Yeah,
goodness.
people got to see things, right?
I know they don't
You're
want to
the
see
one
the board that we're not
streaming.
playing anymore.
Oh, so you mean I actually have to put it in there? Oh my lord. Okay, hang on a second. This is on the fly window capture here.
It takes 2 seconds, Mr. Capture Windows.
Yeah, but I don't want to capture Discord. I want to capture that.
And I will say, I think some of
Well,
the
yeah.
top of the list is not surprising at all.
Okay, so this is what we got. Let's move that up.
Yeah. So,
Well, actually, first thing you should start off with before you say anything.
Hear the
It
stream
was
again?
32 people that signed up for this tournament.
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes, we
which
have.
caused some problems in the analysis pages because it was only set to go to like 44 teams or so. And so I finally found that
Oh.
error just about an hour or two ago and made sure it could encompass all 64 teams because,
They've
you
had
know, Two
they've
Team
had
Takedown.
they've had bigger numbers before, haven't they?
Whatever the source I had was only set up for like 40 something,
Okay, I
which I think is about right for um I don't know what it was.
okay.
So yeah, I'll stop talking there.
Any anywho.
Fun.
Is this big enough for people, or do you want me to
I can
zoom
see
It
it.
looks good. I
Looks
think
okay.
it looks good.
Because I can. Oh, there. Actually, that's
Yeah.
even better. Because that's the important stuff.
I mean, no shocker. If you look at the set count, those row or columns EF, Dark Phoenix has 55 unique cards. Meanwhile, Infinity Gauntlet 35, and then everything else is half.
Yeah, like that's not a surprise at all. Everyone wanted to play with the new toys.
Yeah.
That was the first
Well,
thing.
and then Infinity Gauntlet and Dark Phoenix are twice the size of any other set.
Yeah.
So if you add up the Trouble in Waterdeep, which is third, and I think Zentarum had one more, and whereas Adventures in Waterdeep had 4, so 5 total more. So the Waterdeep campaign box and team packs were still only at 22.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not even close. And that's unique
Yeah.
cards, right? Like
In
that's
Yeah.
Warhammer, where did Warhammer fall?
7.
Let's see. Battle for Ultramar is there at 7 cards total.
Oh,
Where's the other ones?
Orcs had a card and Space Wolves had a card. So
Yep,
9
at the bottom.
Yeah, there
cards
we go.
total.
I'm going to tell you that's almost a little more than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
It's the set that just feels left out right now.
I think
Yeah,
when
I'm
the
kind of
next
interested
set,
to go
I was
find which ones it is. Because, I mean, the Space Wolves one has got to be Venerable Dreadnought.
but one Venerable
Orcs is
Dreadnought.
actually a shocker.
No, I bet you there's a bunch of new Plague Marine. I've seen lots of people comboing that one right
Oh,
now.
it's Plague Marine for
Oh,
sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We
No.
will see that as we go through each individual.
Plague Marine is not a. It's not an orc though, is it?
No, it's
No,
in the
Plague Marine's
Yeah.
in the base one.
Okay.
But
so
no, I think the Orc one is
maybe
Mogrock.
or an orc knob. Could it be an orc?
No, it's Mogrock. It was a
Oh.
very surprising. I don't know why they picked it. I didn't analyze the team too far.
There we go.
well, we can do that too because we can have some fun with
Yeah,
that.
we could be on for another 3 hours.
Yeah, we can Snyder cut this easy.
Yeah. I mean, the short version is there are 6 players who didn't put Clayface on one of their teams.
I'm one. Me.
Well, yeah, this is not a shocker to see this as the top card.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's what I find interesting when I look at the top cards. The first 2 are globals, like that's
Yeah.
Well,
that's
yes.
why they're there.
Well, what's always the most important thing, and that I preach to any
Yeah.
Is Wombo Combo. That's the number one thing.
It's not
Sinister
Wombo.
is on a lot more teams than I expected.
No,
I
it's
thought
bag
he'd be on every
control.
team.
It's bag control and ramp. So yes.
Yeah. Thor is actually a bit higher than that because a few people are not playing the super rare. So I think there were like maybe 4 or 5 more, putting it at about 20-ish.
Well, that's the
people
thing
playing the
I'd like
Thor
to look
Global.
at. I'd like to look at that with the Thor, with this Thor in particular. How many of these are
Do
Thor
Control
teams
F and type Thor.
on here?
Or
No, here won't
Or
help us.
scroll.
just hit
Oh, Jesus.
Control F the find key, or
Yeah,
do
I
you
got
not
it.
have?
I got it. Relax.
Okay, okay.
There's
I don't
there's
see the pop up like usual.
there's two. It's off the screen right now because I
Oh,
zoomed in.
okay. Yeah, so there's 15 there. There's
Two more down there that you can't see because
Yeah.
reasons, and two more there.
you could
Or one
scroll
more.
down.
Probably just for the global though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
one is
so that's
just for the
18, right?
global.
3 more plus.
Yeah,
what
those
was it,
are
15?
very much likely just for the global.
How many of these are
Right.
just for the global? And how many of these are this is the win con?
Nylor.
The bottom ones are definitely just for the global, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
actually, Colossus
Yes.
wasn't even in top 10.
And without actually breaking down every team individually, you can't say if some of them aren't alternate win conditions or if
Well,
there's
that's just it. I think some of these are like as a backup plan. Is
Yeah.
why
I mean,
Thor's
it's
there.
so easy to put in a backup win condition when it brings a global.
Yes.
I mean, I'm kind
Yep.
of shocked Becky is so low. There's only
That
13.
I'm told. I thought it was going to be a Becky Palooza. I thought she was just going to wipe everybody. She still might.
And I'm gonna go back to the fact that people are, well, two
People are
reasons
tired.
why Becky might not be as good. Number one is with the Dark Phoenix Global running around everywhere, force block Becky just is not as viable because they can just KO their own character when they
Yeah.
hit the force block.
So let's look at Dark Phoenix. We got 14 there.
She's
And
much higher than you'd
6.
expect, or than she
Rare
reads
version.
there.
So
It's
there's
the rare
20,
version to her.
23 different versions of, or different. Whoops.
And just to double check Nihilor also.
That was at the bottom.
There's
Yeah,
still,
I mean,
it's still a
some of the
KO.
ones at the bottom they're still not going to be that impressive.
No,
Well,
but it's another 5 KO globals. So that's 25.
That's my statement. That's my
25?
statement. Is the Becky and force block things are not as viable unless people actually buy Booker T.
Yeah.
Action. So
Yeah.
it's not as quick and not as clean as it has been in the past. Now
Which,
that being said, she's
speaking of-
still strong.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of
also-
globals, the average globals per team is right at 5.
Wow,
Slightly off.
That's a lot, actually. Holy crap.
Yeah.
that's half a team. That's half a team.
I mean, I think you see that a lot more with the more competitive teams because it's you put on 2 cards that'll win you the game, and then how many globals to support it because you don't need to buy that much.
Well, speaking of, 2 cards on your team, Hope is obviously the most popular tool in the toolbox for win cons. I would be curious to kind of break this down further as what is Hope paired with? Like, there's 20 Hopes, right?
Well,
Is what
you
I'm
just
reading.
go down the list and find every
Yeah.
X-Men there is.
Yeah, I know we got to do that, but I mean, it looks like the popular one is Colossus. Seems to be
Yeah,
number 1.
Colossus, no shocker there at 12. And I bet every single Colossus is paired with Hope.
100%. If there's a Colossus by himself, I'll be shocked.
Also the next one that I see, line 20, which is Storm,
Yeah.
Queen. That one
Yeah,
at a 7 cost, which is reachable with the type of setups that we have now.
Mhm.
She's still very good. With
yeah,
Hope.
but do you want to pay 7 costs for those stats?
No.
Probably not.
I've seen that die take over a whole game though. It
Yeah.
takes over a whole entire game, especially if you're using some kind of pushback. Because
Which it looks like. Okay, how many static fields do we
static
have?
field.
Yeah. Which
So
there
we
are
got-
2 more static fields using the other set.
So there's 12 plus 2. Oh, that's it.
Wouldn't you want to KO Storm because she's a when fielded?
She's also she doubles it when she attacks.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
12, I think.
When fielded, she does 1. When she attacks, she does 2.
Oh, here it is, too.
Okay.
So she's really great when you field, attack, and then KO, much like a certain master mold. But
Oh,
she's still
that's who I
very
want to look
solid
for.
if you leave. Just up 2. Just look up 2 or 3.
Where was
Master Mode is not too high up on the list, I think.
He's 3 above Storm there.
Okay,
not?
yeah, he's at 11 cards total, which is about a
Oh,
third
down.
of the
Okay.
teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say a third of the players, not the teams, but a third of the players.
Frontline got just as many uses.
The front line, I think, people are kind of forgot about it, but I think it's making a big comeback.
It was always a fun card. Always.
I'd
fun.
say
I found-
the people who played Frontline before did not forget about it.
No,
Yes.
what I find interesting is I don't recall the front line being played a lot originally, except on a certain couple teams here and there. But I feel it's super viable now.
I had a buddy that went to a WKO. All he did, he never fielded anything other than sidekicks, and bought it was all globals to help clear the field and to buy frontline and field.
If you're not ready for the front line, you're toast. Like it can get you so
Frontline who?
fast. The front line destroys you. Here, let's pull it up for those wanting to learn.
Yes.
And be prepared.
Teach
Yeah.
me.
So it's the global's kind of cool, but it's the action itself. That's as big as I can make it there. Sorry, guys.
That's good.
But it's unblocked attacking character dice gain +3A until the end of turn.
Is it plus? I thought it was just +2. God.
No,
yeah.
it's +3. It's ridiculous.
So clear the board, go in with everything. Everybody gets +3.
Yeah, it's well, sidekicks. You need what? 5 of them, right?
5 sidekicks will win.
Or a hope die and that's copying a Rachel Summers wherever that might be.
Yeah,
Like
there's
the board the
lots of
turn
ways.
before.
I wonder
Yeah.
if anybody brought Rachel.
I think someone did.
A couple. I think I saw a couple.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that me? Yeah, it was me.
There is 4 Rachel Summers.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
I was
no,
gonna
there's-
say I can't be the only person that
what's
because
there's 2 different Rachel Summers on there. What does the other one do?
Oh.
What does Phoenix
that
do?
one Rachel Summers Phoenix.
When one or more Rachel
Oh,
Summers
she's
character
the-
dice attack until end of turn when one of your X-Men character dice is KO, deal 2 damage to the defending player.
Well, there you go.
I've never used that card.
Everybody
It's
uses
really
the other one.
good. It doesn't get enough attention.
Well, there you go. Somebody figured something out. Somebody read the card next
You
to the
can pull off a lot of shenanigans, attack with it, and then wipe your board for fun.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
KO a whole bunch of things.
Which is easy to do.
especially if you've got a Hope Summers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
exactly.
my point was I personally was worried I knew that there was going to be a lot of times where people are going to attack with big things right now, whether they be master molds or Becky Lynch's or other things, and board control is a very big option. That's why
Well-
I thought Rachel Summers was very important right now.
But again, yeah, look at the top control cards here. I mean, Typhoid Mary's really the top one.
Is she the top one? Well,
I mean,
yeah,
that
she
was
is.
she is. She's way up there.
that is the
Uh,
obvious thing, though.
Drax
and then-
is number 2. Gazer number 3. What's
Danny.
the next one?
Danny.
Spider-Man number 4.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man's just above Danny, but Danny I
Danny
would consider control too. She's just control win. So
Yeah. Well, Spider-Man's kind of that way too, I feel.
and then also Yellow Lantern Ring on 7 teams. So yeah.
And again, I was surprised at the number of God Catchers. I thought there would be more.
Yeah, me
Once
too.
again, I'm gonna point to the fact that people want to play with the new toys.
Well, I think that's probably the biggest factor here. Yeah.
Yeah, but Thor's still high up
This
there,
is the
though.
event to test the meta.
Thor has been banned in every event since before it came out. Even more than God Catcher.
Almost.
True.
Yeah.
Everybody had God Catcher.
Yeah. That card seemed to be banned almost immediately from anything that anyone was
I don't know
allowed.
why it's not that good, right, Nick? Like it doesn't do much.
That card just Nick can vouch
I
for
remember a certain table flip.
it. Did we get a table flip already?
No, we don't have a table flip, do we?
No, this was when we first found out about what Thor does.
Oh,
To be fair, when we learned what Thor did, when I learned what Thor did, I was distracted by Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I got to see him all shiny and new at the preview draft, and a young Nick was playing him, and
a young Nick.
he was younger. I was like,
Was he
But he was-
babyless? He was babyless. He was a babyless Nick at the time.
that's right.
Yeah, I could go away for a weekend without much guilt.
He had good luck at that anymore. You probably feel bad staying up late talking about cards right now.
Probably this is his free time. It's like, sweet. It's quiet time.
I would like to, just looking down this list, I'm really happy to see. I mean, there's a card that really surprises me, but doesn't surprise me. Atlantis, City and Stronghold.
I'm not. I will
noticed
bet.
that.
I will bet money that is on some frontline teams.
That card, well, it's very good for, well, Mr. Sinister would be better on a frontline team.
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm confused. I'm confusing my Atlantises. I think. Hang on.
No, City and Stronghold is really great.
Oh
For
yeah.
those
No, sorry.
that
I was
are-
thinking of Wealthy Kingdom. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah, no, this one is, I think, very powerful in the fact that people are allowed to, if they miss rolls, to
yeah.
get another shot at them.
Yeah.
And-
It's a great card.
And it works really well with Godcatcher tokens. I'm not gonna hold back there. That's a great piece to go on with those ones. So, but there's more Atlantises than Godcatchers. So, somebody
By
really
one.
likes that global, but that's still more.
Plague Marine is an interesting one.
Yeah,
'Cause
very
that
true.
card. That
There's
card.
2 different Plague Marines being used, I think.
Is there 2 of them?
There
Hold
should
on.
be.
I know I've got one.
No, there's just the one.
Oh, everybody switched from the pump the sidekick ones to
The better one.
the better one.
The surprise I'm going to get you.
Yeah. And
I don't know if it's a surprise, but
well, if you
Yeah.
don't really know what it does and you don't realize,
well, then
how-
we're ruining the surprise right now. Hopefully,
well,
it'll-
yeah. Anyone who
community
has stayed up this late to continue watching us.
I mean,
watch-
everyone watches to the end of these videos, right? You get like thousands of views.
That's right.
and that
And everyone reads the comments.
And when it goes
Um,
on YouTube for as a board game night, I'm sure all the Dice Master people
All the
will.
Dice Master people watch our board game night content. I'm sure we've lost subscribers as a result of our board game content. The Dice Master people get mad. No, this guy, he kind of comes out of nowhere if you don't really see him coming.
Well, what
'Cause
does he do? Go ahead,
he's-
Jordo.
When a sidekick character die is KO'd, which is incredibly easy to do, you may field a Plague Marine character die from your used pile or prep area at level 2. So this is your
So-
sidekicks or your opponent's sidekicks.
And it's got 2 really nice words on there. It says field,
Yep.
which triggers
Lots of things.
lots of things, and then it
Jubilee.
says level 2, which triggers something else, right?
Yeah, so this is going to work well on teams with super rare Jubilee, super rare Thor. You're going to get these pings of damage in real quick.
That's where I'm using him.
Colossus is going to love Plague Marine because all of a sudden, level 2 characters, bam.
Trade in and trade up. Trade a sidekick for a guy and have a sidekick to. If you can KO your own sidekick, you have a guy to roll next turn.
Or if you KO one of their sidekicks, you got a guy.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
Or-
a little ridiculous.
It's pretty stupid with the Dark Phoenix Global.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
Something's
what I did.
too cheaper. Something's too cheaper. You get to roll that sidekick next turn, and you brought that level 2 in. And
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
too much
The
stuff.
plan on one of my teams is on turn 2, KO a sidekick, which brings in the Plague Marine, KO that. So you get a discount of 4 for 2 bolts, and then buy whatever 6 cost you want and prep it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's the only probably bad thing about Plague Marine is I feel like he's just getting his heyday now, and I think he's not long for Modern. Whenever they decide
You
to do
know,
it.
That's
there
okay.
have been people using him and using him well before. I've seen it. It's just it does get overlooked very easily.
Yeah. So I'm
He's
hoping
the janky card.
he is. He is. and
Not everyone's going to get in on it.
I hope we get to see an ability like this going forward because this is a pretty unique ability and it's
Actually,
fun.
I hope we never see another ability like this going forward. It's way stronger than.
Well, right now it's got so many tools in the toolbox to use with it. It's
If
an
it
incredibly
said-
good card.
I mean, if it was place into the field at level 1, it would be a very different card. It would still be good, but it's
Oh, not even close. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it is field and it is level 2 makes
Yep.
it pair very well with 2 of the better win cons right now.
Yes, and it's 2 cost and it's a fist. I mean that's
Three win count. You do have to count Jubilee. And you can use actually the Jubilee to KO your sidekick when you field it to bring in the.
Oh yeah, that Jubilee.
So the Jubilee is very, very viable.
Yes.
Which how many people are running Jubilee?
See ya, Cam.
And the good one.
Let me pull up.
Or rather, there's a few, but
Fireworks is the first one. Is that the?
That's the rare. That's the spend X-Men energy
Yep.
and piss people off with a ruling.
Yeah. X-Men Field Leader.
Yeah, that should be
That's the super rare.
That's the one we're speaking of. Yes.
Hang on, let's bring up the Jubilees here.
Jubilation Lee is the bolt attack, I think.
Okay, what did I say? We had
Yes, that would be correct.
Fireworks and X-Men Field Leader. Okay.
And Wandra is the when fielded deal 2 damage.
Yes. And that speaks to the strength of there's always seems to be a card that overshadows all the other cards, but we have several cards in this meta, whether it be Jubilee or Black Widow, that God, wouldn't you love to run? And here's Two Team Takedown to ruin it, but wouldn't you love to run one Jubilee on one team and one Jubilee 100%. On another team? One Black Widow.
I think the team building really hit me this time of I can't put that global on both of my teams.
Right.
Like you can't get a Thor global on both teams or a Dark Phoenix global on both teams. And so I really struggled with that second team because I had Thor and Dark Phoenix both on the same team.
Yep. But the nice thing about this is, like, I've heard lots of people say it, like, it reminds us of the 2019 meta, where there was a whole bunch of ways to win.
Yeah. I think someone else contradicted it with, well, there was a certain amount of control that was expected in that one, which I don't think we have. I think it's a very different control.
Well, it's all the it's very much bullshit.
It's very much all kinds of win cons.
Yeah. And I don't know what I would bet on, to be honest with you. Like, looking at what's out there.
Well, I've seen people get Master Mold in the field on turn 2. I've seen Frontline go off on
field.
Yeah, the field. I think so. Was it turn 2? It might have been.
No, they prep them on turn 2, I think.
Yeah, I think the best I've seen is turn 3 getting him fielded.
Yeah, fielded turn 3. That's correct, because you have to cycle the basic action, making the team. So, how many people are running making the team?
That's a good question, and I think that's a pretty underutilized card.
I mean, you got to hit and then you got to hit again.
Only 2.
Only 2. You do have
What
to
about
roll.
living the dream? That's what I want to know.
I
One.
don't know if I saw many.
Oh
There's
wow,
one.
there's one. Well, that wouldn't be. That was me. What? Why you keep talking about the cards I'm bringing? I must be the odd man out in this one.
Yeah, I think some people are not so. They don't see its potential, or they thought something else was just easier.
I mean, the quickness of so many teams right now, living the dream does feel slow because you have to
It's
buy
yeah, you
buy
gotta buy and field and buy
so
and
many
field and
pieces.
You have to buy that and something else. Whereas
Well,
Thor,
actually,
you buy Thor. Master
probably
Mold, you
3.
get Thor.
Right,
Or you get Master Mold.
right.
yeah.
Becky, you get Becky. God catchers, you buy lots of God catchers.
It's a fun. I love living the dream. Like it's a fun team. I still don't agree with how they ruled it and all that garbage, but it's still.
I mean, it's how they ruled it, and
I
Yeah.
don't
might
have
as
a
well
problem.
abuse it.
I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with living the dream being that way. Now, how they ruled the
Loyalty
tokens,
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The loyalty counters.
the loyalty counters are a very, very awkward. But even then, there's still several of them that get the counters extremely quickly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not hard
Yeah,
to do.
that's the problem.
Even if it wasn't, they didn't have to be active. So, but now there's ones that don't have to be active, and they're crazy quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But yeah,
Well,
I'm honestly surprised. I thought Becky would be higher.
interesting.
I expected Hope to be up there. I don't know that I expected her to be higher than the other, like the big 3, basically. Well, and where did we put Master Mold? There he is, 15.
Well, the biggest reason why Hope is at the top is because it can be
It's
so many
anything.
different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's a win condition when you have a win condition on your team, but she's also utility, or she's
control. She's
control. She's
Yeah.
utility. She's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make people pay 2 for their fielding costs if you want to slow them down.
Oh, no one did that, did they?
I don't
Yeah.
know if they did.
Yeah, there's a Sage in there.
People,
Was it that Sage or was it the Corrupt Sage, though?
Let's find out.
I think it's the Corrupt Sage because I've seen a team with that on there.
Psionic Firewall. That is the increased cost. There you go.
Oh,
Someone
Well,
is
I think
taxing people.
someone's taxing people. There's the global tax, like you said. People probably weren't expecting as many globals, but one Jean Grey in the field, and you copy that, they're not going to be using the Dark Phoenix global or the Mr. Sinister global. If
Let's
that's how they're
see.
playing on,
They might still use Sinister. They're just going to use it as well.
Yeah, Jean Grey's in there.
if
How
it
many
costs
teams?
4,
5?
if it costs,
Oh, well, I mean, if you double it twice.
Yeah.
Or if you add it on twice.
yeah. So I mean, there's lots of things that she can copy that aren't necessarily. That's why she's so high, though. Is my
Yeah. She's.
I'll be
def-
interested to see how many people bring the, say, or who would go for their control piece with Hope first, rather than the win con.
I think it depends what you're up against. Like, if you're up against something fast, you're probably using Hope as a control piece. If you're up against something a little maybe slower, maybe you go for that Colossus right away.
I can speak after, because that is the style team that I am playing. It has been a difficult decision, and I have lost games because I made the wrong choice.
And I think I'd place the bet now that there are going to be more Hope Summer teams in the bottom half than the top half. Only for the mere fact, it's not that she's bad, but I think she takes piloting skill. Like, you have to know the right toolkit, or you have to know your toolkit, how to use it, and how you're going to beat the opponent.
Yeah.
to where I think she's the people
Unless-
with hope are going to get more wins later.
Unless
And-
it's Hope copying Colossus.
Yeah.
If you,
I mean, if you went that simple, then
yep, and I'm sure that there's some of those too. So
but I don't know if that's going to be as strong as like being able to pivot to hope as a control piece.
who knows? Once again,
It's
that's
my wild bet.
So okay, looking at what you got here, what if you were to place your bets on? Let's go with what do you think right now? Looking at this, what do you think is going to come out on top
Mr. Sinister. Oh, I'm sorry.
as a win condition? Yeah, Mr.
Oh.
Sinister is going to be on the winning team. Yeah, for sure. We know that.
Yeah, I just have to say that he is one of. I've actually found him to be almost, not quite, but almost as solid as the old PXG, especially when paired with Clayface, which is why I did not bring
You're
Clayface.
not the only one to make that comparison.
It's insane. It is insane.
You can get 4 sidekicks out of your used pile,
Yes,
and if it's double Clayface, it gets even worse.
you can get 6 to 8. You can move over all your sidekicks and stuff like that. Yes. So, I conditions that I think will be on top.
Like pick one. You can only pick one. What do you think is going to be like on the top one on one of the top teams? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I mean,
Playing the numbers game, it's hope.
Yeah, I get Colossus would be the numbers game one, right?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think Hope Colossus is probably
But
best chance, but I feel
it's gonna take pilots because, like I said, some of the people that are bringing Becky, there is quite a few people that are bringing the Booker T Global or Basic.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
With so
Booker
much
T's up
Arcana.
there, more popular than Becky
Right. If people
by 1.
and that might be because that somebody's just running Danny Moonstar and no Becky or something like that.
Mhm.
But if somebody was to, a good pilot would stifle some Becky teams because, like I said, with the force block right now, there doesn't have to be somebody there. Becky is the best when she gets to attack 2 turns in a row.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get 2 attacks in a row, you should probably have the win. Although I don't think there's that many Jerry Lawlers.
You don't need. Well, Jerry Lawler's almost useless now with the, because I can see how many people are using Gladiator. Wasn't he pretty high on the list?
Oh yeah, Gladiator's very popular.
So his global. So a lot of people switch to that and does not work with Jerry Lawler.
Right. But yeah, Jerry, he's on 5 teams.
5 Jerrys.
5 Jerrys. How many gladiators are there?
8.
Well,
they're
8
probably
plus 3.
plus other different ones. Yeah, I was gonna say they're
So we got
probably
11 altogether.
right. So
Now, okay, those unknown ones showed up, right? So there is a Hellfire Gala team, isn't there?
I know that.
Yeah, and that's actually how I found out that there was an error in some of this counting. Because I was like, I knew someone was playing Hellfire, and I couldn't find it on the list.
There it is.
Turns out the list was not long enough.
Yeah. That I want to watch. I want to see. I think that's Joe, isn't it?
Yeah, Joho.
Yeah. I do want to
He's
see
doing,
that
and I think he labeled the team a controlling Hellfire Gala party thing. Because he's got the rare Ken.
I am a big
The
fan of
super
that
rare
card. The rare.
the super one? Oh, the rare one.
I'm a
You
fan of
can't
that.
beat me.
Yeah, that card's solid
Yeah.
if you can keep them in your use pile.
Yes. But in theory, you should be able to, because you put it with Clayface, you should be able to bump them in there. How many
It's-
mutations? 5. Okay.
I mean, people are going to really have to work for it to not keep them in the used pile.
Oh no, it's
Like,
challenging, but it's fun. Like when
well, no. I mean, if someone knows how to keep it in the used pile, you're going to really have to work around that to break it. Like, yeah, you can mutation it, but come on, are you really going to have it at just the right time to do that? I think a better idea would be just simply corrupt
yeah.
or some other thing that messes with their bag.
Yeah. Okay, so we're all basically picking Hope Summers on the winning team.
Colossus, pretty much Colossus.
Yeah,
Because
I'm on board with that. I think that's going to be one of the top 2.
I mean, that's the numbers pick.
yeah,
I think.
I did not look down through the list of what anybody else is playing or anything.
Yeah, I
so
haven't looked at the full teams. This is just kind of the general breakdown. So, yeah, I want to see what.
I mean,
people
I
are
went
doing.
through all the teams and I can't. I know there were some constants that kept showing up, but I can't think of what all the teams were. I have not done my previous in-depth analysis.
The one I want to see, because I think there's at least one of these, and I was going to run one of these, is Phoenix. This one.
Oh, the rare.
Internal Flame. It's on 3 teams. That's the kind of dark horse one I'm kind of rooting for.
Oh yeah, that rare.
Well, that's a front line, so you can definitely say frontline team could
that's
win.
That's a frontline team, so I'm rooting for that personally.
It could also
it was
be
one I really wanted to try and put on, but then I kept. I don't know. I was going different routes, and it just wasn't going to work right.
So
but she's one to pair with Hope as well.
I think that's the one you and I built, Mike. We had that one built for when I thought I was going to be playing.
Did we get that one finished? Oh,
we did get that one finished, because that's the one I wanted to focus on, because I really like that combo.
And the other one was real easy to play?
The other one, I couldn't play that one. That was horrible. that was a horrible team.
As in, it was very mean.
Yeah, it was basically, what was it? Thor, Godcatcher, Becky, and Master... No, I wanted to put Master Mole, but you wouldn't let me. I wanted to put all of them on one team just because. But I'm not playing because we had 32 people enter. I was the odd man out.
All you lovely, lovely people.
Yes. So I think there's been 1 or 2 games already that have played. I know
Yort is the only winner so far. He is undefeated.
As am I.
No, there's only one defeated person. Everybody else is.
Oh yeah, that's right. Spug is the
only defeated player.
We appreciate you, Spug.
Yes. But yeah, I'm excited to see this play out, because this is going to be a good kind of meta test. Not a true meta test, because you are like you were saying that the second team lost a lot of tools because of the first team.
It's a large enough pool that I would say that no teams really suffered, but you couldn't extremely bling out a super team, right?
No, I mean I would have easily put Mr. Sinister on both teams in a heartbeat.
That's what I'm saying. There's certain cards that you would have been like Clayface, Sinister on every team if you wanted, and most people are running him. But then,
I mean, I think if you want to really check what the meta could look like, is just take everyone's 2 teams and splash them together. Like, chances are they were running some of their favorite cards, their best win cons, and take the couple of other cards from their other team that could have supported the first team.
Yeah,
that wouldn't have worked on.
I think everyone's first team is a good meta test. I do honestly believe everyone built their first team. I was like, yeah, this is great, and then had to piece together the second team.
I didn't think it was too terrible to piece together a second team.
No, there's lots of choices, but there's definitely globals you'd want on both
Yeah.
Well,
that you can't.
there's globals you always want somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what really stopped me. I wanted to play the Thor team, and then I would have probably done a Living the Dream team, except I really need the Thor Global to get that. Or Dark Phoenix, and those were both on the first team.
Yeah. That was the other issue. Dark Phoenix needed to be on multiple teams. So,
Yep, it's a plethora of riches right now, and I'm glad we got some new stuff. I'm happy to see people playing, and hopefully the European people get to get
I
their
wish that
stuff
I wish the European people had their stuff, and
in
it's sound like
June.
June, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're going to have Kryptonite Crisis before they have.
I hope to God Kryptonite Crisis is on the same boat as their Dark Phoenix stuff, so at least they get them both together.
Yeah.
Well, distribution channels. To be honest, they might have it just sitting in a warehouse right now.
Well, apparently it's not Wiz. This isn't a WizKids problem. This is
It's not. That's what I'm
Asmodee.
saying.
Yeah.
Asmodee is the distributor in Europe. They may already have it in their warehouse, and it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Distribution is in. I mean, every part of the supply chain is in some kind of problem, but right now we
Do you have any boats stuck?
no, there's no boats. But I mean,
Anyone check on the Evergreen Shipping Company?
they're still
How are they doing nowadays?
they're still backed up. Like there's still things that need to ship more. So I think they said like mid 2023 if there's no problems to catch up with what needs to be shipped right now.
That's crazy. But I mean, I see it in my business too. I mean, everything's back ordered. Everything's a pain in the ass.
Basic little things that you just never imagine.
Yep. Yeah. But I just, like I said, I feel bad that the European guys are on the outside looking in for this, because there's a lot of guys out in Europe who enjoy playing the game, and
I mean, a good number of them don't like to proxy things,
which is absolutely fair. I'm not a big fan of it myself, so I get that. But then how do you play high end competitive when you can't, when you don't have the cards?
People that against people that do, right?
Yeah, it's not fair. So
we're running an unfair tournament. Let's just pull it back. Restart this whole thing again.
Make sure we get all the rulings right first. And
I think we've gotten the rulings right. No one's going to watch this far into the video anyway, so I think we.
A couple people are watching. Hello, say something in the chat if you're there. Ask a question about the breakdown, or tell us about your team. If you're,
I think it's a lot of bots sitting in the chat.
Is that what you think it is?
Yeah.
Or I just scared away five people. So
that's cool. That's whatever. No, I mean, I think unfortunately some of the rules questions came after the teams were made. Even though we did ask for, if you have more questions, ask them before. And some of the rulings aren't going some people's ways, and that's the way it is.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I think.
Also, to be fair, the rulings came out before any games were played too, so.
Which is much better than, hey, in the middle of a match, or hey,
yes,
you've already won a match and now your team doesn't work that way and you really lost that match, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm okay with where things are at. Whether people like it or not, that's whatever. It is what it is. We'll be consistent. If we're wrong, we're consistently wrong. If WizKids wants to come in and make an official ruling, we will change.
It'd be lovely. I would change something in like 2 seconds if WizKids wants to come and tell us something.
100%. If our rulings are wrong and they want to officially rule in the rules for them, I'm happy to bow to them. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, I think it's really shown to me recently. We need the rules forum to be available
Active, like we
because
need
there are
something.
very much
Yeah.
there are cards that you know either way you interpret it very much makes sense. We need somebody to say this. No, this is really how it should be interpreted, and that should not be the players.
No, no, no. I don't think we should be up to it because I mean, we do our best. Like, we can only go off of the way the card's worded. That's number one. Whether it's, I mean, we might understand what the intention of the card is and what it was supposed to do, but if it's not worded that way, you can't actually rule it that
Attention,
way.
attention doesn't mean that's when you paste and copy a super rare from an old card and then come back and say, no, that's but listen, that's still exactly how the old one works.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
not.
We're not going to talk about that card.
Oh, that card
Yeah, that-
blows my mind. That blows my mind.
That card just makes me angry.
They took away a card that probably should have been a super rare and just made it into
But I
okay.
mean, like I said, there's so many cards that do things that haven't really happened yet in the game.
Yeah,
And I think as players, we know what they want to do with it. Like we get the idea of what they're trying to do, but if it's not worded properly, and I get that wording is difficult because I've made cards for our local events for the Christmas things, and when I screw up my wording, people catch it and they destroy the card in about 2 seconds. I go, oh, whoops, it's not supposed to do that. That wasn't my intention.
Well, I mean, simply take the one that is most contentious, the Jubilee.
Yeah.
What does it mean to spend energy? Does it mean you have to spend all of it or not? We don't have anything like that as a definition. So is spend an energy die this meaning you spend the last energy? Or could you partially spend the energy die, which is also used in the vernacular?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, in the rules book, that's what it says. Like, I have it on my iPad. I don't have it here. But yeah, like they said, you can partially spend the energy on a die and spin it down. I'm going, okay, so that's spending the energy.
Yeah,
Correct?
you spend energy from that die.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that's the
and
other thing I
to be
feel.
fair, it's judge's guidance to go with the weaker interpretation.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
Like-
another thing I wish WizKids would do with the rules forum is almost have a living rules document. Because I mean, we get the rules books in. So what was our last one? X-Men, right? X-Men Forever.
Well, there was one in
forever ago. Yes,
there
So-
was one in WWE. It's just parsed down.
Yeah,
and
so
people
I mean, we
don't
get these rules
respect
books,
it.
and I don't think they need to keep well, I mean, obviously you need to reprint them for like new players and stuff, but for other players, you could have a document like a web page, a PDF, whatever, and you update it as you need it, and then that's where we go. That's what the rules forum is. The rules get updated organically as needed. Like when
Well,
when something stupid happens, we go, "Oh crap, we didn't plan for that. Let's add it to the rulebook."
that costs dollars.
No, not on a web page. It doesn't. I mean, it's yeah.
Well,
Obviously, it costs you gotta
dollars
pay
to
someone.
pay someone to keep track.
Yes,
It
But, I
still
mean-
costs dollars. It costs
every-
dollars.
every business has a
time.
web developer. Everyone has someone who's running their web page right now.
I'm not saying that it costs a lot of dollars, and I'm not
So-
saying that they shouldn't dedicate space to it. I'm just making the statement that it costs dollars.
Yeah.
Dollars, and if anything that I've seen, WizKids definitely counts their dollars.
Oh no, I know. I know they're the little fish in the big pond. I understand that. I get it. But it's something I
I
think that could help
I
the
think
game
they-
quite a bit.
They could be anything they wanted to be if they just did spend the dollars.
Oh wow! I was snooping. Our last rules forum thing was posted on June 15th of 2020. Not even last year, but It was the WWE Dice Masters rules questions, which I believe was, there's a Jerry Lawler and Mankind. But I was more curious, the Moneymaker. They actually had HeroClix questions answered this past month on the 21st.
Yeah, and the other thing is like the questions that were answered on Facebook are none of those have ever showed up on the rules forum. So there's no official, like you can't
All right.
find that easily, right?
Now I'm upset. They actually had a Star Trek question
No,
answered last year.
no, no. Oh my God, are we the redheaded stepchild now?
I mean, sales wise, yes. We spoke to that beforehand.
Are we the third wheel? Are we the youngest sibling? We used to always be able to say we were above attack wing, but now we're not? Is that what you're saying?
In terms of the rules forum, yes.
Oh,
Although
that's
we surprisingly, they have more posts in the Star Trek Attack Wing, 1,600 to about 1,300 in the Dice Masters. Although I think doing quick tabulation, the HeroClix actually has less posts than either.
really.
I'm betting they probably had a purge of some old stuff.
I feel it needs to be cleaned up. Like I feel they can make the rules form a little bit better. Well, number one, use it. That would be the first thing. But I think
Well, and now you're asking someone to go through 568 topics to clean it up. That's
Oh, that's a massive job. That's no.
That's like at least a month's work or two.
That's what interns are for. You don't have to pay them.
Oh, we could send him our intern.
No, he's not. He's really bad at his job. I wouldn't let him near anything important. He's showing time and again that he's not very good.
Well, I try.
But I mean, I feel I just feel if they put some time into it, they could get it where it needs to be. There's players who would probably volunteer to do that, and there's really good players out there who could make fair rulings. I know they're not the game designers, and I know there's that end of things, but isn't that better than nothing?
Well, admit there are some players that I probably wouldn't want to be doing that, but I have personal opinions, and I'm not the company.
Right. But like I said, I think they got to get that going, because especially with the new stuff coming out and the new unique stuff coming out, that's going to interact with the game in ways that we haven't really had before. We need to know how that works.
Yeah, the game's going to try and... The game designers are still trying to push forward and create a great game.
I still think they are. I think they're doing really cool things.
They are, but you have to support anything that's a living style that's trying to move forward. You have to be ready to make decisions and make
rules. Is that we don't get a rules forum active, the worse it's going to be.
Well, and I think a lot of people have turned to apathy too now. Like I just don't care myself. Like I'm not going to send a rules question because it never gets answered. That's where I'm at. I've given up.
Well, I'm glad we know where you stand.
I just turned to Laurier now. I said, "How does this work?"
Oh, that sounds terrible. Oh my God, that'd be an explanation and a half.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy to kind of bounce things off of.
Yeah, he's on
to be
top.
fair, he usually, if he either knows it offhand, or he will try to take some time if he has it to investigate and make sure he has it right. Yeah. He is definitely a person who doesn't like to be wrong.
Right.
And that's not always a bad thing.
No, that's a good thing. But yeah, bottom line, they got to get that back up and running for this game to succeed long term. Short term even, I think they got to do it.
Well,
especially if they want official events, which we still have no idea if that's happening or not. I'm betting on
I think they're actually at the point though where they shouldn't try and get the win back up and running. They shouldn't try and get the rules form back up and running. They just need to start a new one.
Well, there was talks that there was supposed to be a new one.
A new
A long
win or a
time.
new?
Yes, they were supposed to stop using the win 2 years before the pandemic ended, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion there with the win. Like I feel, and I've messaged WizKids a few times, never got a response. I said like, there is an online component to your game that I don't know that you are capitalizing on or realize is how big it is. And maybe
Or-
it's not as big as we think it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what do you think is big, Jordo?
Probably. I don't know. I'm biased because I am part of the online scene. Like
Sure.
that's where most of my games are. That's the community I see, and
And-
that's where I see all the events. Like there's
Great community, great events. So, up and coming game, on the rise. Not super popular. Definitely not Magic style, but Digimon just reached a big growing pain because they hosted they had somebody try and host some online tournaments, and they put a player cap on them of 520 people.
Yeah.
And they were sold out in 3 minutes because there was 2,000 people that were trying to play the game.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not there.
I want to think on average there is for this game 60 people maybe on and off players online, and
Say
the
there
average
are
game
at least
doesn't
hundreds of
use.
players.
I'm
Because
sorry.
I'd say there is at least hundreds of players.
Oh yeah,
But
there
not
is.
everyone does the online, and not
Right.
everyone travels. And there's a lot of
Kitchen table players.
I
But
would
it's
love to know
definitely
the
not moving the
numbers.
same number of units as Digimon.
Oh
No, no, it's a completely different. Well, it's a different game, a different system, different
but
different
this
backing.
is- what I'm trying to say is just numbers wise, there's just
Yeah, no, I get that we are the little man in the pond here.
it's just a numbers thing. I'm trying to,
Well,
and
well, all I want WizKids to do is like look at your numbers and see where they're coming from, because the win is one of their measuring tools, right? Like that's the point of it.
that was the original point of it. I don't think it's anything anymore. So
No, I don't think it's valid numbers of any like a lot of the stores, like a lot of people use for the online ones. They just log into their store accounts, and that store
Well, if it's-
now.
if it's not supported, why would I use a product that doesn't get any attention?
Well, right.
I mean, it's
Right.
something to keep track of wins and losses for your tournament, so you can run them.
Well, like I said, I don't care so much about that. I look at it from like I'd like to say, okay, where are my players for this? Like where are my active player base? Are they in northeastern US? Are they where are the games happening? Are they online? Are they where? How many people
We
are
have
playing?
players in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're using the win at one of their stores.
Yeah, James runs. Well, no, he's not been running Dice Fight, but he used to. And he would run Dice Fight out of the store account.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, at least they got numbers there, but it's not showing. To me, that's not an accurate number. These are online
No.
players, not store players. And that's always been my argument to WizKids, saying like, I think it's good to have online access to this just for you to see. This is the number of players who are doing this, and maybe it turns out to be a really, really small number in the grand scheme of things, and it doesn't matter at all.
And I think that was their whole argument against giving it to online, is they wanted it to show stores, and then, well, what if you're not actually using it to show stores? What's the point?
I think it just shows you as the company where your product is being used.
Yeah.
Which is what you've created this thing for. Like, do you give a shit how many wins player X has? No, not really.
as a company, you care about how much people are buying.
Right.
It's
And
dollars.
I mean, your online
And
players are buying
and
everything. 'Cause
right,
that's what,
analytics wise, the online still helps. I get it. Yeah.
yes.
But tournament looks like it's going to be a good time.
I hope
I think
so.
I think I think we got good people running it. Thank you very much, Drew. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, we've.
Light self compliment.
I I'm not doing much.
You're in the
But you guys
discussions.
are doing great. I
You're going down in flames with the rest of us with these.
I'll take that. That's fine. I'll drive the bus there. I don't care. That's fine. But no, there's so many cool things going down, and I can't wait to see some of the most inventive stuff. I'm glad
Yeah.
people are still digging deep and finding really cool things like the Plague Marine nowadays. And I look forward to seeing what other kind of crazy ass stuff people got. So
Yeah, that's what I love about the new sets is they sometimes like reinvigorate the old ones. I'm like, oh my god, this is so good now. It was kind of crap before.
Speaking of whatever, the comments, a certain video that came out recently are just lit.
Yes, yes. Check out the Bat Plague video. Maybe read the comments on that one. There's the comments that nobody reads. There's some discussion going on there about some fun stuff. And can you imagine if what was it, Infiltrate comes back as an action?
Yeah, if Infiltrate comes back, that's hilarious.
they have something that does something like Infiltrate.
Is there? Like
Yeah.
that'll give any affiliation?
It's got a pump. Infiltrate is like if your dude dies, it comes back, right?
No. The
Oh, that's
action.
invulnerability.
Yeah, I'm thinking invulnerability. Sorry.
Yeah,
Infiltrate. Which infiltrate are you talking
it
about?
gives any affiliation you want to any die.
Oh, God, I forget about that everywhere.
If that ever comes to modern, oh my god.
I don't believe that they'll ever do that, but there you go.
Well, the trouble is they don't need to do it such that any affiliation could be granted. They just certain affiliations. Like if they did it for Teen Titans, Golden is ridiculous.
Well, Golden's always ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the fun of it. And if that's in Golden already, so it's already ridiculous, right?
Yes, but I mean that's
Yeah.
Golden's supposed to be ridiculous. Golden's supposed to be every possible combo wombo.
Yeah. And I was reading something on their, I think one of their first rotation announcements or some rotation announcement. They're like, yeah, Golden's meant to be silly, ridiculous, have fun.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
If you can find it, you should play it. There is
Also ridiculous is the global escalation where they attempt to tamp things down, and it's pretty damn degenerate.
Yeah, because anything that has a global still gets to stay in. So
Yeah.
and globals are some of the most important and powerful things that the game produces.
Globals are
And
the
somehow
biggest
they
part of the
don't
game.
appear on a lot of the control pieces.
I
Yes.
wonder why they don't appear on the control pieces.
So
But I mean
all the
that
control
eliminates them,
pieces
right?
disappear, and you've got a bunch of global support. So
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's the
How
Wild
much
West, man.
stronger, how much stronger does a control piece become
Well,
when it has?
I remember Global Escalation 2019 at Worlds, and yeah, I got to see Hope Colossus way back then. It's like, oh my god, this is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how
mean-
many turns did it take?
Once it started rolling, I couldn't stop it. There was nothing I could do.
I'm just saying, did you have enough turns? Because some of my opponents did not.
No, I know there was orky shenanigans there, but still, it was a gross combo. I never thought we'd see it again, and then it's like, oh look, Colossus is back. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
16 damage I did one turn on turn like 4.
That's crazy.
last week.
Nuts. But I think we're approaching the 3-hour mark. We finished the game like forever ago.
Hour and a half ago. An hour and a half ago. So
I'm good for tangents.
We turned this into an accidental podcast or whatever you
That's
want to call it.
the accidental idiots.
That's the name of our podcast.
There you go. That actually may be the time. I gotta write that down because I'm gonna forget in the morning. Hang on.
See, I'm only good for a couple things, and being idiotic is one. So I guess you got it.
That might go in the title. Because I think I might clip this and see if I can make it somewhat
You can.
somewhat interesting to watch as opposed to here's our spreadsheet.
Well, we lost track of the spreadsheet 40 minutes ago too.
Yeah.
I tried to get it back
all the
on
time
track.
after we.
I tried to
No,
get it.
Jordan, if you want to schedule some time, maybe after the substitutions, we could take a look and see how it
That was
kind of settles.
That's my other question. What can, like, I know it's early and not like literally one game has been played. Can you make a prediction as to what you think would be like kind of where do you think the subs are going to come in? Like what's...
I have an answer for that.
Do you? Because I don't yet.
We'll see more Becky's.
That's what I expect is insert Becky here.
Maybe. I think there's just not going to be a lot of substitutions.
Oh, really?
There was a lot of people that play tested very heavily, and even if you go 0-2,
I think there was a vocal group of people who play tested heavily.
Well,
I think it was still about a quarter of the people playing that actually did more play testing.
I'm going to disagree. I think some of the European guys got together and did it together. I think there was definitely vocal people, but there was definitely guys that would sneak in and out, and you know, there was the same 3 or 4 people calling for the practices.
Yeah.
But there was a wide variety of people that took them up on it.
So you're thinking there's going to be a large
practice is overrated.
I don't practice at all. I just wing it. The first 2 rounds are my practice.
There you go.
So you're predicting not many changes.
Not unless somebody finds like a card that they just absolutely figured out that they like, oh, this card didn't work the way I thought it was, or I just didn't think I thought there'd be Becky Lynch's everywhere and I'm never going to see one, so I'm going to take this control piece off.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key is people will more than likely adapt their control piece. Like, for instance, I brought the Gazer to intimidate tokens.
Yep.
But if we go down the list, there's 11 Master Mode teams. Pretty significant. And,
7.
Where did I see Godcatcher?
Godcatcher's still up there, 7.
7, yeah. Yeah, so about half the teams, or half the players I'd expect I would need it. So is it good enough? Probably still, but I think other people will maybe put in the Gazer.
Oh, there is the other Godcatcher there, and that's interesting.
Yeah, a couple people are. It's good defense. Like if you...
I was just curious.
You can force the opponent into some bad choices.
That was one card that I considered on teams.
But we're not going to go down that tangent because it's already.
Yep. I'm glad we got back to this tangent, but yes.
Yeah, but I definitely, once we do the sub that's after round 2, I believe we said. Is that right?
Yep.
I wouldn't mind actually doing a more thorough breakdown at that point in time, because we're going to see where people thought the weak points were at that point in time, and then what they feel is the better addition. And hopefully it is not insert Becky here, because I that's my bad feeling. That's what I hope I don't see, but I could see it happening really easily because it's easy.
Well, she's arguably one of the best cards still, because she's a kill condition, she's control, and she is also
Amazing global.
Skip the bag. Skip the bag. Global.
Yeah.
He does it all.
Yeah.
So she does it all. So, like, she is arguably a fine card to put on just about any team.
Yeah. And I think she falls into the other category I think most people are going to look at is, all right, I played the game. Someone else brought this global. Man, that was really nice to have. What can I drop to get that global? And so
Yeah.
it might be, I just really want that the Becky global.
I have it.
Shocker.
One of the 3 pieces, yeah.
And maybe there's some other globals that will pop up, or because I mean, people are going to look at it as, I didn't really play this card. I never got there. I never had the chance to buy it. It never happened in 2 rounds. It's probably a small sample size. Don't make this mistake.
That's I agree with that completely.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was nice when that global was there and I could make use of it. So
Yep.
Clayface might easily bump up to 32.
I will tell you, I will not bring Clayface, so it will not go to 32.
Yeah, no.
31.
And I agree there. I think probably a majority of the people who have Clayface on their team, or rather, the people who don't have Clayface on their team,
Intentionally did not bring Clayface because it
Yeah.
is too good of a global
for other people to
Yeah.
use.
That I believe there's been cards that I've seen spoiled and stuff in this game, but as soon as I seen that card, I said, best thing ever, because I love playing Golden and I love Professor X and I love broken stupid things, and card provided all the fun.
Global isn't broken because of Professor X.
No, it's broken because it's broken, but I'm just saying
Well,
that's
I mean,
where my mind went the very first time immediately. So
yeah, I mean, it's a really good card. Golden would be mostly fine without Professor X. Or with Professor X, it's the Clayface that ruined.
Oh,
yeah,
we're
still going.
we're actually just wrapping up. We decided to have a conversation after the game, and it turned into a 2-hour discussion on Dice Masters. Hour and a half, I think. Right? Is
Hour
that
and
what
a
we said? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, are you streaming, Donnie? Because we're gonna. I don't know if there's anyone still on to raid. I doubt it.
That's all right. We don't need to raid. We don't need anything.
Well, if Donnie's out there, I'll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll
If
go
Donnie's
raid.
out there, I'll.
Well, thank you for coming by,
Donnie's out there,
and thank you everybody else for
coming
watching. And thank you everybody else for coming by.
Whoa, that got a little echoey. Sorry about that, guys. So now that the echo's over, I'll somehow clip that out in post. We'll wrap it up. Again, thanks everyone for watching the original board game stream. And if you did hang out for the discussion, just kind of an interesting kind of look at some of the Two Team Takedown stats so far. And
could get their act together. Discussion.
Yes, yeah, that's, yeah. But I definitely, I'd like to do this again, kind of like you said, Nick, after 2 weeks, and see after the substitutions are in, if they happen.
Hear what the idiots have to say.
Hear what the idiots have to say.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, you were gone.
See, it's just us 2 idiots. And
Just
Nick.
us the 2 idiots. Okay.
2 idiots and
And yeah, let's maybe reconvene when the subs are in and do another little assessment and see what people felt didn't work and what they feel will work better, and then see if we're right on. We all said kind of Hope Colossus, right? Was that
our
was that
bet? Yeah, that's the big bet.
Yeah. So we'll see if we're right at the end of this. If Hope proves to be the winner, which is looking numbers-wise, it should happen. Becky, I am shocked. Again, I thought she was going to be a bigger player, but we'll see what happens at the end. So again, thanks everyone for watching.